We're moving on to the second plenary speaker. The first plenary speaker was from academia. Our second speaker is from a major company in Korea, LG, which makes a lot of TV. And our next presenter or speaker will talk about television. He received his Bachelor of Science from Seoul National University, and then moved on to a better university called KAIST. By the way, I'm from KAIST. I'm KAIST, and so he did his master's there, and then went to RPU to do his PhD, and came back and started work at LG, and he's currently the senior vice president in charge of television, digital television, silicon on chip, and also OLED TV, silicon on chip. Let's help me welcome our next plenary speaker, Vice President Dr. Seung-Jong Choi. Yes.
Hi, this is S.A. Choi, and I'm working at the System IC Center, LG Electronics, where we are developing a system-on-a-chip solution for the most important systems, such as TV and the mobile smartphone. So the title of today's talk is the TV technology trend and SoC solutions. And today's talk content is like follow. TV overview and human visual system, and TV technology trends, and TV SoC overview, and LG R&D activities for TV SoC. About 10 years ago, we talked about what digital convergence would be in the mobile and home areas. At the time, we expected the overall all the personal electronics would be converged into the cellular phone, and a TV play a central role for the home electronics. But if we look at now, the personal electronics is being continuously converged into a so-called a smartphone like this, as we expected. But if you look at the smartphone, then the overall design a little bit weird, but at the time it was the most innovative, the cellular phone at the LG Electronics. But anyway, a smartphone supports a lot of functions such as the camcorder, camera, and TV, and game, and MP3 music player, and so on. But if you look at the home electronics, still there are digital set-top box and Blu-ray player and audio system and game player and the personal computer and so on. So that is the home electronics is not converged into a so-called smart TV. So I asked continuously myself why the digital convergence did not happen as we expected. But the answer I found so far is that TV is an inherently entertainment device. So we do not prefer information searching with TV like this. So I have 2 kids. So at the time I developed the 3D TV, I was very interested in the casual 3D game. 3D game, even though it looks very simple, but if you play 3D game at 3D TV, then that is quite exciting. So at the time, the 3D content, the movie was not so popular at the time. So as killer application, we consider 3D game will play a very crucial role for 3D TV. But the result is not that. So the question, also I asked why that is happening. But I look at my kids. I have 2 kids, but they never do game in front of me. So even though the game is very exciting, the Korean kids, and I think the situation is quite similar in United States also, but kids would not like to be seen, him or her, play the game in front of the father or mother. So that is the customer insight. So I think the TV is not there, but TV is the center of the entertainment. So they would like to be excited to watch sport game like this. So TV is expected to satisfy them with immersive experiences with large screen and premium content. They would not pay the additional premium for the web searching capability. So the price is almost same, but they would pay top dollar for the large screen TV with high quality picture. So starting from the black and white TV, TV has been the center of the home entertainment since analog to digital transition about 20 years ago. TV industry has been changing very rapidly, and TV set makers launched high definition TV, networked TV, smart TV, 3D TV, Ultra HD TV, and OLED TV to the market. This trend results mainly from TV display innovation, such as the LCD, plasma, and OLED, and demand for the smart user experiences. This is the most innovative TV so far. LG announced this TV at IFA 2013, about 3 years ago. 77-inch, the 4K curved OLED TV. After that, there is no big change yet. What is the future of TV? Wallpaper type TV and rollable TV, and eventually the hologram TV will follow. To make the good TV, it is very important to understand the characteristic of the human visual system. we should provide the picture quality convenient to our human eyes. A human visual system consists of the human brain and two eyes, and the visual information is captured by two eyes and transferred to brain and processed. The more specifically, occipital lobes located at the rear part of the human will take charge of the visual information processing, and then we can understand the visual information. So the human brain is the heart of the human visual system. And the human factors have been related with the TB so far. And we have the more number of the rod cells than that of the cone cell. So the human is more sensitive to luminance than the color. So that is why the black and white TB appeared earlier than color TB. And then aspect ratio 60:9 is more natural to the human compared to the 4:3 in the analog TB. And recently, the 3D TV and Ultra HD TV to implement the more immersive TV. And we are all are naturally seeing the 3D world by two eyes. And the 3D magic is the 65 millimeter distance from the left eye and right eye, a little bit slightly different. The image are captured by two eyes. And 3D TV tries to implement the 3D world, but not the fully satisfactory yet with the current technology limit. And if we look at the TV display device, TV display evaluation, there are two important human factors. That is, we prefer higher contrast ratio and wide color gamut. Contrast ratio is the ratio between the most brightness part and most darkness part. And perceive the picture brighter. This means that we prefer that picture quality that we feel. According to Bartelsen and Brenneman and Helmholtz and Kollascher, then human prefers higher contrast ratio and wide color gamut. So we will say that, wow, this picture is very excellent if we look at TV with higher contrast ratio and wide color gamut. And this is the basic reason why the OLED TV can achieve the far better picture quality than any other displayed panel devices so far. And there are several advantages of the OLED over conventional LCD display panel. The first of all, the simple structure. OLED is self-emissive, and there is no backlight unit. The lighting unit is logically equal to that of the pixel unit. Furthermore, the OLED provides ultimate picture quality with real black, infinite contrast ratio, and wide color gamut. In OLED, real black can be implemented by turning off the pixel lighting. This real black implementation is impossible in LCD panel, since the light emitted by the backlight unit cannot be perfectly blocked by LCD thin film transistor. in direct type LED, local dimming technology can reduce the amount of the interfered light, but interfered light from adjacent LED block cannot be perfectly blocked. OLED panel makes innovative TV design form factor possible. Paper slim depths about 4 millimeter, and very lightweight, and curved and flexible, and wallpaper type display. LG has successfully commercialized the OLED TV in the market for the first time, and the structure of the basic cell is different from that of the conventional, the RGB, the OLED. It consists of the multi-layer of the white OLED and RGB white color filter. And the multi-layer is, in other words, the tandem structure. And in RGB color filter, is the same, but white filter means empty. So the white means bypass the lighting. With this cell structure, the oxide TFT, same as the LCD, can be used. And to make it easier to commercialize, and multi-layer white OLED and RGB type color filter makes it easier to improve the luminance. Ultra high definition TV implements more immersive display. Immersive is the along with more details and wider view angle. Ultra HD supports 3,840 pixels in horizontal direction and 2,160 lines in vertical direction, which is the 4 times number of pixels compared with the conventional the Full HD TV. We have the more number of pixels, then we can feel more detail, superior. And view angle means the angle between our eyes and TV screen. And according to the NHK research, if the view angle is around the 100 degree, then we come to have the feeling of we are being there at the spot. For the HD TV, the optimal distance is about the three times of the TV height, and so the view angle is around 30 degrees. But for the 8K UHD TV, the view angle is the viewing distance is about the 0.75 of the TV height, and the view angle is the 100 degree can be achieved. And the SoC. The SoC is the system on a chip is system IC terminology, which means the all functionalities, including a CPU and digital blocks, and even analog the components for the system is integrated into a single chip. The rapid development of the semiconductor technology makes it possible. If you look at TV inside, then there is the PCB board consisting of the TV SoC and DDR DRAM and flash memory and several connectors. SoC plays a very crucial role for the success of the system in terms of the quality, how to differentiation, and cost, platform cost. And to design the good SoC, there are three major technologies are very important. The first of all, chip design infra. You should have the good foundry and design methodology and physical design and low power design capabilities. And secondly, the system design capabilities. That is the optimization between the hardware and software. And regarding the chip design, the system architecture and SoC, the platform design capabilities are very important. Finally, you should build up the system software and platform to support the service and contents. So far, the families companies made most of the system ICs and provided them to the set makers like LG. For example, in digital TV SoC, there were the families companies such as the Micronos, Trident, AMD, ATI, Genesis, and NXP, and MediaTek, and MStar, and so on. But the current trend changed a lot, and market-leading set makers design their own chips necessary for their set platforms. Several reasons are behind this, but the main is that they would like to make their own platform, and they would like to build up their ecosystems. And this trend was initiated in the smartphone by Apple, who has been the market leader of the smartphone. And Apple would not use the mobile AP chip available in the market, but design by themselves. And Apple successfully builds up its own the iOS platform and app stores and so on. And the simplified block diagram of TV system like this picture. And main hardware components are TV SoC and DDR and eMMC memory and TV display panel. And the basic input signals are radio frequency RF. And in addition to them, the streaming services are available in the internet connected TV, and app services are available in the smart TV. And for connectivity, HDMI and USB ports and analog video inputs are there. The TV technology trends are how to fit the rich content and how to implement the simple but user-friendly UX and how to provide immersive picture and sound quality to the customers. According to the media, the Netflix content delivery service provider seems to be real winner in the smart TV era, rather than the smart TV set maker like the LG and Samsung. And TV content platform becomes more and more important. And TV SoC has the following units: a computing unit, a CPU and GPU, and 2D graphic, and the signal processor and MCU. And TV broadcasting and multimedia. First of all, TV should support the various global broadcasting standards, such as the ATSC, the United States and Korea, and DBB, European, and ISDBT, Japan and South America, and DTMB, China. We also support the multi-standard video codec format, including the MPEG-2, H.264, and recently announced HEVC. And sound and picture engine, this is very important, and the additional explanation will be followed. And connectivity and mixed IP, there are about 30 analog IP integrated in the TV SoCs. For example, the HDMI 2.0 receiver and USB 3.0, the PI-N controller, and Ethernet PI-N controller, and DDR memory, the PI-N controller, and several analog to digital the converters and page lock loop. LG roadmap. And LG TV SoC roadmap is shown in this slide. SoC for the Full HD TV was developed. And SoC for the Ultra HD TV is now being developed. And L-line chip was the first SoC solution for the Full HD smart TV. And M14 was the LG WebOS platform, and H15 was the Ultra HD TV platform. And M16 was a solution for the mass market UHD TV product. And we are especially focusing on recently the Ultra HD TV SoC solution, since the market is growing very rapidly. And in addition to the SoC, we developed various standalone chips. And which was indispensable to launch advanced TV like 3D TV and UHD TV and 4K, 8K TV. And then those functions became more popular, and then we integrated them into the next year SoC to reduce the total platform cost. And this is the example, the H15. H15 was the the 15-year the LG UHD TV platform solution, and overall features are summarized here. The semiconductor process was the TSMC 28 nanometer, and CPU ARM Cortex A57, the quad core running at 1.4 gigahertz, and GPU was the Mali T760 MP4 core running at 550 megahertz, and video codec. All of the available the codec formats are supported, including the HEVC and VP9 and AVS Plus, MPEG-2, and so on. And interface, Ethernet and USB 3.0 and HDMI 1.4 receiver and HDMI 2.0 receiver and TX and audio DSP. Cadence Hi-Fi 3 dual to support Dolby Digital and DTS and MP3 and so on, and picture engine and sound engine. And to satisfy the streaming service, premium streaming service, the various security engines should be supported, the encryption and decryption engine and ARM trust zone. To design the memory subsystem is one of the most important parts in SoC architecture design. And first of all, we have to add all the memory usage requirement from the old blocks to calculate the total memory bandwidth. As the system becomes more complex from the Full HD to Ultra HD, the required memory bandwidth becomes larger and larger. And frame buffer compression technology is quite useful to reduce the saved bandwidth. Lossless and lossy compression techniques are widely used. And secondly, we have to meet the real-time constraint for the blocks such as the picture engine and display engine, which require 1/60th frame rate. So the size of the local buffer attached to each block should be accurately decided to guarantee the real-time performance with saving the buffer size. In this case, there are two separate 32-bit memory buses. So the smart balancing means that we distribute the memory access usage evenly to them. While TV evolved, advanced features were required at each stage. Those features were quite important to win the market. Here are some examples. And for analog, the 480i to digital HD display conversion, deinterlacing technology should be used, and frame rate conversion technology was for the 120 Hz LCD TV, 60 Hz input video converted to 120 Hz the frame by the frame interpolation technology, and LED backlight control, the local dimming technology for the LED TV, and 2D to 3D conversion for the 3D TV, and super resolution technology, the conversion, the HD video to the ultra HD video, and recently the SDR, the standard dynamic range to the high dynamic range conversion for the HDR TV. These techniques are quite useful since at the early stage, 3D TV, the 3D content is not much. The most of the more than 90% content is 2D. And even the Full HD TV, even in Korea, there is no much. The Ultra HD content, most of the more than 90% content is the HD, and same as the HDR TV. And the final picture engine. And the overall picture quality is decided by TV display panel performance and TV SoC's picture engine performance. And TV display panel performance is occupied around 70% of the final TV picture quality and more important. And especially the contrast ratio and color and resolution and frame rate are decided by TV panel. And picture engine, image video signal processing technology, takes charge of the noise reduction and sharpness and conversion and frame rate conversion technology. But after making this slide, the design of the TV SoC, as I mentioned, the memory bandwidth, that is very important. And the other is how to design best picture quality engine. So we are a lot of the engineers, and we focus on picture engine very seriously. But after I make this slide, it looks very simple. So, on the one hand, we a little bit hide a little bit our know-how. But anyway, more than 40% of the silicon die size is for the picture engine, and picture engine is quite important for the TV. So but if we look at the SoC design and SoC market, and especially Korea and the Taiwan market, and the Taiwan, the TSMC and MediaTek is very strong for the TV SoC as well as the mobile AP. They provide very low cost solution. But every year, even the LG has the SoC design team and TV design team inside the same company, but we compete every year to win the TV platform. Our TV guy would not buy us LG internal solution, even though our platform is very optimized for the next year, differentiated the features and so on. So every year we are competing with the our competitors. But anyway, picture engine is very important, and so the game, even though I mentioned design infra and system design and the platform design, the three main keywords for the win the SoC. But anyway, rather than the system IC technology, the design, the process, and so on, but this kind of the system level approach for the TV, the picture engine, is the very important for the win the SoC, the competition. TV will be a big advantages over a small screen, the smartphone, to provide the ultimate feeling of the being there. And for the content delivery service, easy searching the contents with a user-friendly recommendation system are more and more important. And I would like to add the importance of the personalized screen, the how to feed custom tailored information, such as the news, weather, and target advertisement. Okay.